Greetings, dear viewers. There are times in life when our environment is painted in vivid hues by moments of sheer ecstasy, of fresh starts and hope. We have gathered here today to tell a story, a deep journey that serves as a reminder of how deeply both joy and grief are intertwined into the very fabric of who we are. A tale that resonates with the heart of a well-known and admired person, Jenna Bush Hager. Prepare yourselves, for what you are about to hear is a shocking reminder of life's greatest mysteries, a testimony to resiliency, and a ray of hope. We have been witnessing Jenna Bush Hager's growth for years. Her journey from a bright-eyed first daughter to a dedicated mother and loving wife has always felt incredibly relatable and human. The announcement followed. That thrilling moment when she revealed that her family was growing again. There would soon be a wonderful new life. Imagine the happiness and unending excitement that permeated their house. Little Mila and Poppy are excitedly awaiting a new sibling, making drawings and whispering secrets about their mother's expanding baby bulge. Henry, a patriarch looking forward to another blessing, was beaming with pride. There was just genuine joy throughout that period, a fantasy unfolding in a beautiful way. A future full with love and happiness was promised by each sonogram and every flutter felt. Jenna was radiant, exuding the unique, ethereal beauty that only expecting moms can have. Her candid discussion of her past infertility issues made this current pregnancy seem even more amazing, a difficult triumph. The entire globe joined her in her joy, imagining the delightful future. However, life frequently has unexpected chapters, as we are all aware. Chapters that may call into question the fundamentals of our knowledge. Under the surface of their flawless happiness, a subtle murmur of worry started to emerge as the weeks stretched into months. It began abruptly, maybe with a brief feeling of dread or a sense that something wasn't quite right. The once routine and joyous nature of doctor's appointments started to change. Always so forthright and honest, Jenna alluded to some issues without going into detail. A deeper level of concern was evident in her eyes. As her audience, we also observed it. Her smile tightened slightly, and her normally animated delivery paused for a second. Was it simply the normal nervousness that comes with any pregnancy, particularly one that comes after difficulties? Or was there a deeper factor at work, a quiet conflict taking place behind the happy exterior? Her family rallied around her and provided her with steadfast support. However, the expanding shadow was not entirely dispelled by their combined effort. The murmurs became louder, possibly due to a mother's instinct rather than outside influences. She made an effort to stay upbeat and concentrate on the miracle. However, once the worry seed was sown, it was hard to pull out. What specifically led to the change? And how may this first worry develop into something genuinely surprising? The time before that appointment, the one that would permanently change the course of their happiness, must have been agonizingly drawn out, with a lot of unspoken anxieties in the air. Then came the diagnosis, a shocking and completely unexpected revelation that affected not only Jenna's family but everyone who followed her path, not in the manner that anyone may have anticipated. It wasn't specifically about the baby. It was about Jenna herself instead. During the normal prenatal exams, a major health problem that had not been identified before was found, a condition that presented a serious and excruciating challenge for the pregnancy itself. Even though it wasn't immediately life-threatening, the medical staff outlined the harsh facts and challenging decisions. No expectant mother should ever have to make that choice. A terrible turn of events that put her health at risk in order to keep her beloved pregnancy going. Suddenly, the lullaby she had envisioned singing and the dreams she had built were in jeopardy. The once bright joy was now shattered by an unfeasible decision. However, what was this illness specifically? And what terrible choice would Jenna and Henry have to make in the end? Jenna and Henry had to make the most painful choice of their life, and they did it with heavy hearts. The medical advice was straightforward and presented a tragic conundrum. Jenna's long-term health and even her capacity to support her other children could be seriously jeopardized if the pregnancy were to continue. But to put a stop to it would mean putting out a flame that had only just started to flicker and giving up the new life they had so eagerly awaited. Imagine the burden of such a huge decision, the tearful talks, and the restless nights. It has nothing to do with right or wrong. Many people consider pregnancy to be a joyful, exciting, and anticipatory period. Expectant parents imagine the happiness that will accompany parenting their child and long for the day when they can hold their newborn in their arms. Yet, not every pregnancy takes the route of happiness and contentment. Unexpected tragedy might occasionally halt the voyage, and the resulting agony can be unbearable. The well-known television personality and former first daughter Jenna Hager recently went through such anguish after dealing with a terrible pregnancy loss. It was while she was expecting her third child that Jenna, a beloved public personality, had her entire world upended. Known for her warmth and honesty, she had openly flaunted her expanding tummy on TV and social media while sharing the happy news with her family and followers. She said she was thrilled about the prospect of growing her family with her husband, Henry Hager, and their 2 kids. As her followers excitedly awaited the birth of her new baby, Jenna's pregnancy had been the focus of a great deal of public happiness and celebration. However, things took a tragic turn as the pregnancy went on. Jenna and Henry received the news that no parent ever wants to hear. Their dreams were crushed by a complication and a loss. The couple was devastated when it was confirmed that their kid had tragically survived. Their expectations for a new life were abruptly crushed, and the exuberant anticipation they had once had was replaced with an intolerable grief. Jenna sought solace and support in her grief from her faith, her close friends, and her family. Although she is well known for her courage and tenacity, losing her kid was a private, agonizing struggle that she dealt with discreetly in the spotlight. Given that such a loss is extremely personal, she decided not to discuss every aspect of her grief. But she did open up about the intense anguish that engulfed her heart during a vulnerable moment on her morning show, Today with Jenna and Hoda. Jenna was candid when discussing the psychological, emotional, and physical toll that miscarriage may have. Her openness helped others who had experienced similar tragedy feel seen and understood, while also raising awareness of pregnancy loss, a topic that is frequently taboo. Since it's hard to find the perfect words to describe such a terrible catastrophe, her choice to share her experience was brave. But because of Jenna's bravery, many individuals felt empowered to talk about their own losses, which led to a surge of sympathy and camaraderie among women who had endured silent suffering. Her loss affected not just Jenna and Henry, but also their families. The Bush family, who have long played an important role in American public life, was deeply devastated by the death. During this trying time, Jenna's parents, former First Lady Laura Bush and former President George W. Bush, came together to support and console their daughter. It served as a reminder that the sorrow of losing a kid surpasses all other sorrows, regardless of how well-known or acclaimed a family may be. Jenna and Henry found comfort in each other and their kids despite the unfathomable grief. To aid in their recovery, they turned to their family, their close-knit support network, and their faith. Jenna has always been forthright about her strong religious convictions, and it was evident that her faith was crucial in getting her through the ordeal. Jenna's ability to talk about her experience with such fortitude and grace in the face of such a significant loss was truly amazing. Jenna recognized the significance of paying tribute to her child's memory as she dealt with the loss. By celebrating the life that might have been rather than dwelling on the actual loss, she and Henry were able to keep their baby's spirit alive. Jenna and her family learned from this traumatic event that love and memories endure beyond death. The resilience of the human spirit in the face of unfathomable loss is demonstrated by Jenna's narrative. Even though losing a child is a terrible event that leaves an indelible hole, parents can start to move on with the help of their loved ones and the passing of time. Through her journey through this tragic period, Jenna Hager has demonstrated to her family, fans, and followers that hope, love, and light can be found even in the most difficult circumstances. Her tragic pregnancy loss serves as a reminder that, despite appearances, life may have unforeseen twists and turns, and that even the happiest moments can devolve into sadness. We may eventually recover and move on, though, if we have the fortitude, bravery, and love of those around us. In addition to making Jenna more relatable, her story has made it possible for people to express their sorrow, fostering empathy and solidarity in the face of one of the most terrible tragedies in life. The narrative of Jenna Hager is one of loss, but it is also one of love, hope, and healing, a reminder that even in the most dire circumstances, light may still exist.